Hi, I'm Amanda, and I just sold everything I own and moved to Japan. Not really. I was just trying to get you interested in the first 2 seconds. Actually, I am just living an average coastal town life in the US, and I wanted to add my little bit of cozy, feel-good content to the internet. If that interests you, then welcome to my channel. Man, that's the end of that. Hi. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, or welcome to my channel if you've never been. I wanted to start YouTubing again, and I wanted to switch up the content a little bit. I've been really inspired by a lot of cinematic style vloggers, and I want to try my own attempt. I want to try doing that for myself. I love photography, but I really love video. I just think it's so cool to get just an interesting angle with some cool sound on top of it and transitioning from one video to the next, and just I have a lot of fun with it. I've always wanted to journal more and keep better track of like my memories, write them down, and it's just something I don't ever get around to, and not really something I'm inspired to do ever, but I'm very often inspired to make videos about my life and just what's going on so I can look back on them and look back on the memories. If I can do that in a artsy way that is fun and creative and fills some of that creative well, and since I am constantly inspired by creators on YouTube and other platforms, I think this is going to be the best way for me. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. You might never see me again. You might see me next week. I'm probably not going to ever be one of those once a week YouTubers because, man, they put in a lot of work. You may see me every other week, once a month. I don't know. I'm going to try. And trying is half the battle. Thank you for sticking for that. If you did, here's the rest of the video. I used to say I wasn't a reader. I was very naive. I never gave books a chance. I was so focused on fitting in, and being a reader wasn't considered cool in my misinformed brain. But I didn't know what I was searching for wasn't in my peers, it was in books. Back then, I thought I had found my thing in acting. I do love it. I'd still do a community theater performance in a heartbeat. But it wasn't the acting that called me, it was the stories and the art of storytelling, no matter what form. Now I know why I love art, dance, acting, books, video games, TV shows, movies. It's all about the stories. It's why I'm making this video, documenting my story, to remind myself that whenever I feel lost and have that urge to escape, all I need to do is find a good story. So, if you're someone that's looking to read more, wants to get into reading, this is my story and how I got there. What led me to reading was actually writing. I became a stay-at-home mom in 2019, and then after that, COVID happened, and that led my husband to being laid off and a lot of stress. Writing became my escape. At first, it was just little articles and posts on Instagram about my hometown. I realized I actually liked my voice and wanted to use it more. So I searched for advice on YouTube, and the same advice every writer gives is to read. The more you read good books, the better you'll be at writing them. At that point, I was lost. All I knew that I liked to read were school-required reading books and the Chronicles of Narnia. So I went looking for book recommendations. And no offense to booktubers, but I could barely get through a video of most of them. And it was because the books that they were talking about weren't the stories that were drawing me in. But one day I came across Rachel Sargent, aka A Model Who's Read, and instantly fell in love with her videos. She read a lot of books that piqued my interest, and the way she talks about them is very entertaining. But one book she mentioned being a favorite of hers and said was like a more adult Narnia was The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex Harrow. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I purchased it with some others I had been drawn to and just started reading. Now I've found tons of books that I love, and I know exactly what kind of stories I like to read and which kind of stories I want to tell. So that's why books are such a big part of my life now. I stay up later than I should, reading, listening to perfectly paired ambiance video, usually petting a cat or two, but I love it so much. It's brought so much to my life. And the more I read, the more inspired I am to write. But it's more than that. Reading has inspired me to live again. Because now I look for stories everywhere, in everything. If you've watched this far, chances are you love a good story too. So why not pick up a book? You never know where the pages might lead you.